Hello and welcome to the Cardio Advisor podcast show with me, Hugh Hattrick. And you might be wondering, where's my special guest? Well, there isn't one this week. I've decided to do it solo, but don't worry because next week we'll have Andrew Dixon here in the hot seat with me to discuss all the latest Cardio Advisor topics. But for this week, you've got me and we've got a number of topics to discuss. We've got the Formula One testing that just finished on Thursday, so we'll give you all the updates about that. We've also got the Sim Review Report, or Sim Racer Report, where we'll be talking about Super GT and most of the top UK sim racers, so get ready for all of that. And we have a special Jim Clark Museum update, and also an update on the Jim Clark Rally. So let's get ready for the Cardio Advisor podcast show.
Welcome to the Car Deal Advisor Podcast Show. The presenter of this show is Hugh Hattrick. Get ready for special motoring legends and great deals on your next set of wheels. So the 5 red lights have just gone out and it's go, go, go.
Well, as we've started to see warmer weather here in Britain, it's the start of the Formula One testing series, which started this week on Monday in Barcelona at the Track de Catalunya. And it was a very interesting week. One of the most notable exceptions was that the Williams team failed to make it for the first 2 days. They had problems getting their car finished in time, so they didn't turn up till Wednesday. So it was George Russell and Robert Kubica who failed to really do that many laps. In fact, at the end of the week, they'd only done 48 laps for Kubica and just 17 laps for George Russell. So when they have the next testing session in a couple of weeks' time, they'll have to make up for that. But let's give you an idea of who was fastest. Well, you might be thinking it would be Vettel or Hamilton, but it wasn't. It was Nico Hülkenberg for the new Renault team. His RS19 clocked the fastest time of 1 minute 17.393, which is pretty good. And now it's difficult to tell exactly during testing whether or not the teams are on low fuel. They all do different testing routes. Some will go for long runs, some will go for short runs. But to see Hülkenberg up there is certainly promising because last year Renault really struggled a bit, but they think they've made quite a big improvement this year. Then it was Albon for Toro Rosso. Now this is the STR14 with the Honda engine, and he did a lap of 117.637, which is a very, very good lap and shows that the Toro Rosso Honda is right up there. In fact, a lot of commentators were pretty impressed with the Toro Rosso team. And also the Red Bull Honda. The Honda engine seems to have made a lot of improvements and also seems to be reliable. So it could be a real player this year. Now, in third place, that went to Ricciardo. In the Australian, in the Renault, the RS19, he managed a time of 117.785. So just under 4/10 off his teammate, but still a pretty good debut for his first year with Renault. Now it went on to the more familiar teams of Mercedes, and it was Bottas, who in his W10 did a lap of 117.857, followed closely by Hamilton, and it was 117.977. And then after that, it was Charles Leclerc in the Ferraris. So it's been really 4th to 6th for the well-known brands. And then Leclerc did a 118.046, which is pretty impressive as well. And another bit of good news is that British star Lando Norris, in his driving for McLaren, his first testing series for them, and of course it'll be his first race of the year starting in March, he managed a 118.431. So the top 7 is covered by really just over a second, which is not bad. Now again, we don't really know what kind of testing routes they took, whether it was low fuel loads or whether it was heavier loads. Also, the times were done as well on different sets of tyres, so that can make a bit of a change too. But it looks like it's quite close. Now, in 2 weeks' time, we've got the second test, and that will really tell us what the teams are like, and because they'll tend to do qualifying runs nearer towards the end of the test. But it's going to be exciting, I have to say. I think the Ferraris look extremely good. The kind of word that we've been hearing, certainly from Sky F1 and other commentators, is that the Ferrari team seem to be very, very good. and even Mercedes were admitting that they think the Ferrari is slightly better than the Mercedes. So perhaps this could be the year that Vettel pulls it off and gets his fifth world title. Or will there be more accidents and he might not manage it? It's going to be very, very close, and I'm quite sure that Lewis Hamilton will be doing everything possible to get his sixth title, which is really incredible, really. But it's a packed field, and it's going to get closer and closer, and we'll make sure we keep you up to date with all the latest Formula One news on our weekly podcast. So there you have it. That's the Formula One testing update. And now we'll go on to the Sim Racer Report. Now, on to the Sim Racer Report. Well, this week's big stories is the early launch for some of the top sim racers of Dirt Rally 2. Now, Super GT and people like Jimmy Broadbent have been doing a number of videos on the new rally game. In fact, they've done quite a few, and they've been extremely good. It looks a phenomenal game. I know that Super GT was saying that his favourite stage was in the New Zealand rally, and he did a great video showing how to do one of the longest stages of the rally in less than 9 minutes, and has set that as the target for his fans to try and beat. But Dirt 2 seems to be extremely good with a wide range of cars, a wide range of tracks championships available, and it looks brilliant in terms of gameplay and graphics as well. So certainly that's one to look out for. Now, we've got news that Dirt Rally will be being launched pretty soon. That's the Dirt Rally 2. But we'll have more updates on that as of the exact launch date in the coming days and weeks. And I've also been watching videos from a sim racer and reporter called Chris Hay. Now, he's done a fantastic video, which is all about the best sim racing games to use if you're just starting out as a sim racer. Now, I'm not going to tell you what the best ones are. You're going to have to watch the video for that. But I would strongly recommend going to Chris Hay's YouTube channel, which is just Chris Hay, and that will come up on YouTube. And he's got a number of excellent videos, and you can see what he likes and what he doesn't like. But they're very intuitive, and he's really taken a lot of time to look at the best games and to tell you whether or not they are suitable. So, that's all of the Sim Racer updates for the week, but we'll have more next week. At cardioadvisor.co.uk, we can help you save thousands of pounds on your next new car or van. And we can also source second-hand cars as well. And we can save you money on car rental, whether it be in the UK and abroad. Just click our rental link on the website. And we'll give you a free gift if you trade in your car with We Buy Any Car using our special website link. So go to the website now and see how much you can save. And it's back to the show. Thanks for listening. This evening I took a walk along to the Jim Clark Museum, and it's fantastic to see it being done up. And I happened to meet one of the members of staff. Now, I'll leave it unnamed as such, but he gave me some very interesting information regarding the Jim Clark Museum, saying that they're well on the way to getting the museum open, and they hope that maybe by June, July time it will be officially open, and then in August, in between the Formula One break, so that it's not going to be on dates for Formula One events or things like that, they're going to have the grand opening. So it looks like the grand opening of the Jim Clark Museum will be in August during the Formula One break. And they're going to have people like Jackie Stewart and David Coulthard and a number of other famous guests and Formula One people, and maybe perhaps even some Sky F1 people to visit too, which would be fantastic. And it will be a date in the diary, and hopefully we'll have our simulator race over that weekend as well. Now, the Jim Clark Museum is going to have at least 2 of Jim Clark's racing cars, over 170 trophies, a number of special innovative designs and features that are interactive, and of course a simulator as well, which I think is going to look like a cutout of one of Jim Clark's cars, and you'll be able to sit in it and race away and see how well you can do, or perhaps record a fantastic lap time. So it's really going to be a brilliant museum and a wonderful update and a great tourist attraction for Duns. But why don't you give us an email? You can send it to podcast@cardioadvisor.co.uk. Let us know what you would like featured in the programme. Do you have any ideas that you would like to see perhaps at the Jim Clark Museum? Or would you like a particular car to be reviewed? And we'll do our best to get an accurate and humorous report for you as well. And on the topic of funny cars, I happened to be looking at some cars this week on the database on the website, and I managed to find a car that was so ugly I almost was appalled. I thought, my goodness, surely car makers cannot make a car as ugly as this. Now, can you think what it might be? Nope, you're wrong. It's a Mitsubishi Shogun Sport. That's right, it's just out. In fact, it's only been out for about 6 months. And if you look at the back of a Mitsubishi Shogun Sport, you're going to think, my goodness, what on earth is that? What were they thinking? Surely not. Yep, it's a Mitsubishi Shogun Sport. Now, they used to build this car. It was basically it was a Mitsubishi L200 pickup truck that they'd put a kind of back on so that it wasn't like a pickup truck in its looks completely, but it handled and it felt like one if you were inside it. It was pretty harsh going and rather agricultural. But this car, thankfully, is slightly better. But I have to say, you know, for a car that's well over £30,000, in fact, list prices are nearly £36,000, and some are even more than that, although there are significant discounts. It's really a car you're maybe not going to want to tell anyone else you've bought, because simply the looks are not exactly phenomenal. It's probably reliable, it's probably, you know, a good workhorse, and there might be some financial benefits on contract hire and things like that, because the Mitsubishi L200 pickup is rather popular. But certainly, I think there's an awful lot better 4x4s for the money that you would want. And it's still going 4x4 crazy, because we're coming up to it's the new 19 plate of the March 2019 plate, which will see the end of the 68 plate and into the new year in terms for the car registrations. Now, at the moment, the registrations are still a little bit down. They were a wee bit down last year, so it's interesting to see what's happening. There's a little bit more stock available for cars around the country, so if you're looking for a new car, you need to get in touch with us. Now, we might not have a database ready for, to look at prices straight away, but I can promise you that if you send us an email or give us a ring, it's 01361 315 014, and I'll make sure that you get the best possible quote that's available. We're very, very competitive, and we can get prices on just about anything. And for our lease deals, we're extremely good too. So, if you're looking for a new car, now you know where to find it. It's at cardeoadvisor.co.uk. Simply fill out the no obligation form on the home page or on the contact page, and we'll get back to you as soon as possible with a fantastic price and a deal that will blow you away. Because I can tell you, there are some incredible discounts available on cars throughout the country. And now is a great time to buy. People are holding off because of Brexit, so the deals are getting better and better. Now, last week I did a fantastic interview with David Perel, the GT3 racing driver in the Blanchon Championship, who drives a Ferrari 488. If you've not heard the podcast, I strongly recommend listening to that one. It was really, really good. And he gave some phenomenal tips to all you would-be sim racers that will take you straight to the top of the tables. And we've also done one with Super GT that was done just at the end of January. So I strongly recommend, again, if you've not listened to that one yet, make sure you listen to it and tell your friends, share it to your family, let them see how good the Cardio Advisor podcast is. And if you would like to support us, go to the website at cardioadvisor.co.uk, and there's a donations page, and you can support us for just £1 a month, and that helps to make the podcast possible. We've also got a YouTube channel, which is under the name of Hugh Hatrick. We've got lots of videos on there that can help to save you money on car rental, give you some funny tips on buying a car, and we've also done the world's worst, or certainly Britain's worst cars on sale, which I'm sure you'll find amusing and informative as well. And we've got our Facebook page, which is at Cardio Advisor, and also we're on Twitter at Cardio Advisor 1. So you can follow us on all those things. It's great if you hit the subscribe button and give us a few likes and send us an email, podcast@cardioadvisor.co.uk, and we'll make sure we reply to it and you can have input on what's on the show. So have a wonderful week. It's been great to speak to you today, and we'll speak to you next week. Bye just now. For more information, go to cardioadvisor.co.uk and you can see all the special offers that we have on the website. And remember, we have our YouTube channel, which is at Hugh Hatrick, and also we have our podcast on Podbean, on iTunes, SoundCloud, and Anchor FM. And if you like what you hear, please like and subscribe to our shows, or you can donate every month for just £1. Thanks for listening, and we'll speak to you soon. Bye-bye.